Hey guys, I'm Fancy, and this is Murder by Design. Well, that was lovely. The music played, but it didn't get it on the screen. Sorry, guys. I know every single time it's always a struggle with that thing, but we're going to get it right one day, I swear. I think I've gotten it right a couple of times, but not very often. So anyway, hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm glad that you've tuned in today. Let me take that out so it's just me. Back. There we go. All righty. Well, today I'm going to talk about a case. It's not very well known, but it happened in Christina's neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. But at the end, I'm also going to be revealing a new true crime game prototype that was sent to us. So you guys are going to want to stay and hear about that. I'm going to actually unbox it and show you guys what comes with it. It was sent to me by our good friend and true crime writer, Jude A. Yates, and her partner. And so I'm going to show you that. It has something to do with Lizzie Borden, guys. If you're a Lizzie Borden fan, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and check out what I've got. But anyway, this case is a case that happened in Brooklyn, New York in late November of 2014. Jonelle Barker, 36, and her husband, Steve Whittingham, 49, were having marital issues, and Jonelle moved out of the family home. Barker worked as a baggage handler at John F. Kennedy International Airport in Queens, New York. And some reports say that Whittingham also worked at the airport, and others say he was a construction worker, but for all intents and purposes, they were known as good working people. In December of 2014, Jerome Barrett, 35, and his wife traveled from New York to Virginia. The trip was a sad one. Barrett's father was dying of cancer. He got to spend time with his father and was by his side on December 10th when he took his last breath. Barrett and his wife then returned home, and he went back to his baggage handler job at John F. Kennedy International Airport, and they planned to return to Virginia during the weekend for Barrett's father's funeral. Friends and family say Barrett loved his wife, and they seemed to have a loving relationship. So what happened soon after came as a huge shock to everyone. According to 1010 Wins on December 16th, 2004, Steve Whittingham received an anonymous phone call in which the caller instructed him to drive to Louisiana Avenue and Seaview Avenue in the Spring Creek Towers neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, to see what his wife was doing. When Whittingham arrived there, he found his wife Jonelle in a Kia SUV, and she was with Jerome Barrett. Both were naked, and they were having sex when Whittingham arrived. Now, even though Jerome Barrett was naked and having sex at the time that Whittingham unexpectedly arrived, Whittingham would claim that Barrett tried to attack him with a knife. Whittingham allegedly struggled with Barrett, took the knife from him, and then stabbed both Jerome Barrett and his own wife, Jonelle Barker, multiple times in their chests. Barrett was completely naked, was able to grab his clothing and get out of the car. He dropped his clothing and wallet along the way, but he made it to the apartment building on the corner of Louisiana Avenue and Seaview Avenue in an attempt to get away from Whittingham and get help. Jerome Barrett fell to the ground and died in the entryway of the building, naked and covered in blood, right under the security camera that monitors the entryway and that all tenants in the building have access to through their TV. Sadly, that image of him was shared online and went viral in the community. As Jerome Barrett lay dying, Steve Whittingham put his wife, who he had stabbed in the chest, into the truck of Barrett's vehicle. He claims that she was still alive at the time. He drove a few miles away and parked the Kia with his wife's body in the trunk, and then he walked away. The following day, Steve Whittingham turned himself into police and was charged with first and second-degree murder. The 2009 Kia with the body of Jonelle Barker inside was recovered later that night. According to the New York Daily News and New York Post, Whittingham's lawyer, Jay Cohen, said that his client was acting in self-defense at the time of the fatal stabbings, never meant to hurt anyone, and had been in tears since it happened. Some guys could go eat a hamburger afterwards. He's not that kind of guy, Cohen said. However, to avoid a life sentence without the possibility of parole, Whittingham pled guilty to first-degree murder on Monday, November 2nd, 2015. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. He was currently serving his time at the Green Haven Correctional Facility in upstate New York, and he is eligible for parole in the year 2039. Number one, the phone call, who made that call, and did they ever think it would lead to murder? Did Whittingham already have a pretty good idea of what he would find, so he grabbed a knife and planned to go kill his wife and whoever she was with? I mean, it seems to me that this is a little more complicated than what's being explained here. Was there an emotional break somewhere along the line, cheating wife, marriage failing apart, betrayal, that led an otherwise good man to commit the most heinous of crimes? Or was he just a ticking time bomb and the time on the clock finally ran out? He could have confronted his wife about her infidelity and then divorced her. What made him choose to murder two people and ruin his life also instead? Could something like this happen to any of us with the right combination of events? You be the judge. For more information on this case, you can find us at https:// God, I always do that wrong. Just madgingerintertainment.com. I'll put it over here so you guys can see it, and I'll put it up on the screen. That's easier. Sorry, I always screw that up. I don't know why. Hold on. Hey, Rebel. Hey, Charlie. Okay, so there is the link to our website where you can go find the blog. No, that's not the one I want to hit. There we go. Where you can go find the blog that Christina wrote that is going to have more information on this. And coming up soon, Amanda has rejoined the team. If you remember Amanda back from the By Proxy days, she was one of our psychological students, and she is rejoining to kind of help out with some of the psychological things in these cases. And she'll be writing a psychological blog over there on madgingerintertainment.com. You can find all of our podcasts. We have 2 of them. We are going to be releasing the second episode of Gone Cold here in the next week, and the final episode of Scott Peterson will be over there. And obviously our YouTube channel is there as well. So here is the game. All right. I'm going to pull it all out. I'm going to show you guys. So it came in a little package like this. Now, this is just a prototype. Okay. So just remember these pieces that I'm going to show you and things like that. They will change as they go ahead and go through the different phases of creating this game. But this was a idea for us to play. The Good Wives are going to play and give them some informational feedback. And we may show some clips of us playing that. So here is, let me unpack this here. This is the game board. I'm going to show you like this. Okay. So this is Lizzie's haunts. Okay. It's supposed to be like her house and everything. If you guys can see it, I'm going to kind of go across like this so you guys can see the whole thing. Like that. Obviously, the game board won't be a piece of paper. But then, all right. So we've got 4 little game pieces, obviously, like because you're supposed to move around the board. And then we've got different types of equipment. So there's like an axe. There's a Ouija board. So there's all kinds of equipment. Then there is evasion, which is, so we've got different things there. We have the different rooms of the house. There's the basement, the kitchen, the dining room. And then these are rumors that were told. So there's rumor cards. And then these are some other little things. There's a picture of Lizzie here. And they've got stuff on the back to tell you all the different stuff. There's the neighbor lady, the news reporter, so all kind of cool things. But here's how you play. So, let's see here. Let me see. Where is it that it starts telling me about the actual game itself? Here we go. Okay. So, the game takes place in Fall River, Massachusetts in 1927, immediately after the natural death of Elizabeth Lizzie Andrew Borden, the main suspect in the August 4th, 1892 axe murder of her father and stepmother. One player takes the role of Lizzie Borden, and the remaining players take the roles of city marshal, judge, neighbor lady, and news reporter, called the Truth Seekers or Seekers. The Seekers follow clues Lizzie has left behind while picking up Victorian age equipment to capture Lizzie's ghost as it travels through the scene of the crime, the Borden house. The seekers move openly across the board, which is basic map basic map of the first and second floors, back and front yards of the Borden's house, Massachusetts, circa late 1800s, site of the 1892 murders. Each room and area has a hot spot or haunted area that Lizzie player moves in secret, but using the hotspot location cards. By various means, the seekers try to deduce and uncover Lizzie's location, overcoming obstacles she has placed along the way called rumors. The seekers also gather equipment such as an amulet, a camera, and sage smud for the eventual capture of Lizzie's ghost. The seekers can move by night or day, depending on the character, while Lizzie is permitted to move at any time. The seekers win if they are able to capture Lizzie using 3 pieces of equipment. Lizzie wins if she is able to haunt 5 hotspots on the map without capture. So it goes in more detail about each of the characters and how to play and how all of that good stuff. But I think this is a really cute game. So it was sent to us, by our friend Jude Yates, who, if you remember, we interviewed Jude Yates over on our podcast, The Good Wife's Guide to True Crime. She wrote a book about Cherokee Harriman and the little girl who supposedly committed suicide in the park after being bullied by these girls over a boy. But after talking with her family, we weren't so sure that was the case. That case is very disturbing to us in trying to figure out what really happened. Anyway, so this is the game. We'll probably be playing a little bit of on a Zoom and letting you guys see into it, but I'm kind of excited about it because Lizzie is one of my all-time big cases that I follow. I just enjoy relearning about it. In fact, I just had the book, the new book out that was I can't remember the name. It was a brand new Lizzie Borden book, and it was written all about the trial and all of that. It was really interesting. So, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Don't forget that our crime of the month this month is Diane Downs. We did our introduction on Monday night. We'll be back next Monday with the first episode of that. And then this Friday night, we're going to have a special 8:00 show with Cheryl McCollum and Karen Greer, both from CSI Atlanta. We've had both on before, and they're going to be talking about a case that is a little bit old, but it's the case of Danny Stowe. It's still an unsolved case, and it's something that they've been working on at CSI Atlanta and at the Cold Case Research Institute. And we're going to be talking with Cheryl about hosting our very own wine and crime event with her. So you guys are going to hear about all that. So tune back in. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you soon. Why is it not going?